Hey, what's up everybody? In this video, I'm going to show you what the 6 Tsums look like for April 2021's first pickup capsule. Like every other month, there are going to be 6 different Tsums you can pick from the pickup capsule, and at the very end, you'll get the skill ticket, which is what you really essentially want because that skill ticket is very rare to come by. The very first Tsum I want to show you is Bunny Poo, and I'm actually going to show you all the animation and all the skills later on in this video, so stay tuned for that so you get to see what they look like. But the description for Bunny Poo is that he will clear a Tsum Tsum filled a honey pot bubble. And what that does, essentially a honey pop shows up on the screen and you have to clear Tsums to fill up the honey pot. The more honey you fill up, the higher the chain's going to be. So stay tuned, I'll show you the animation for that one. Next we have Bunny Tigger. Bunny Tigger erases Tsum Tsum in a arch shape. But what the animation really looks like is Bunny Tigger will bounce across the screen in a M shape. Typically it's on the bottom portion of the screen and it will clear every single Tsum that Bunny Tigger touches. And it's a pretty cool one, and he does max out at skill level 3, so it's pretty easy to max him out. Next we have Bride Ariel. Bride Ariel, her ability description is high scoring Eric appears and Ariel becomes high scoring Tsum Tsum for a short period of time. So her animation is that Eric will show up randomly and remove some other Tsums, and you could chain all Bride Ariel and Eric for a high score. So it's not too different. We've seen that kind of animation in the past, so connect them and get high score. Next we have Arlo. Arlo is an interesting one because his animation description is swipe to clear Tsum Tsum. Spot also clears the opposite side. So this one's interesting because whatever you do on one side, the other side will happen as well, and it's kind of hard to describe. You just have to see it, so stay tuned. I will show you that towards the end of the video. But ultimately what it is, like let's say you swipe the left side from top to bottom, the right side top to bottom will also get swiped. So I'll show you that later on. But let's move on to the next one. We have Ursula. Ursula will clear Tsum Tsums in the shape of a circle. So Ursula, I would say, is the easiest to use. You don't really have to think too much. You just clear Tsums, activate the ability, and repeat. But her ability clears a circle Tsum, and I do have her maxed out at skill level 6, so the radius is pretty big. If you have her at a lower level, the circle won't be as the radius won't be as thick, but it still makes a full circle. And it's more like an oval, to be honest. It's not really a circle, but you know, whatever, details, right? Finally, we have Boo. Boo is my favorite one out of all 6 of these because there is some skills and planning involved. But what happens is that there are going to be 3 different doors that show up, and all 3 different doors do different things. So there are 3 possible animation and skills for Boo. Mike will show up, Sully will show up, and also Boo will show up. And I'll talk a little bit more about what each one of them will do once I do the comparison. But let's jump right into that. Let's do a side-by-side comparison of Bunny Tigger, Bunny Poo, and also Bride Ariel so you can see what the animation looks like and if they are good or not. On the very left you have Bunny Tigger, and his animation is that he will hop across the screen, and he's usually on the bottom and clears in a arch shape, kind of like an M shape. So nothing too much to it, pretty easy to use. Now in the middle we have Bunny Poo. So I already saved up 1 honey pot because I want to show you the difference between a filled up honey pot and a not filled up honey pot. You activate the ability, a honey pot shows up. I clear the honey pot there, that's empty, and I got 9 chains. And the one with honey in it was 20. And also you gotta also remember that the honey pot was towards the bottom of the screen, so it didn't get the full potential. But if you have like a filled up honey pot towards the middle of the screen or at the very top, you'll get better results, kind of like where I have the honey pot right now. You clear it, I got 24 instead of 20. And so what you want to do for Bunny Poo is that you want to make sure that you fill up the pot before you burst it, because if you pop a empty honey pot, it just acts like a bubble and it just clears really nothing. It's always going to be in the single digit. So what you want to do is just try to save up the honey pot and then pop it only when it's full of honey. And there's no limit to it. You could have more than 1 honey pot on the screen, and I haven't tried it, but I don't think there's going to be a limit. If you could somehow make the game endless, you could technically have the screen full of honey pots. Alright, so now let's take a look at Bridal Ariel. It's nothing too special. Essentially, Eric will show up and you just connect them for a high score. And really, it's nothing too exciting in my opinion for Bright Aerial, but it's supposed to give you a high score. I'm not a really big fan of these Tsums where you just connect for high score, because I'm more of a corn farmer. I don't really care too much about score. So yeah, Bright Aerial personally doesn't excite me too much, but the Bunny Poo is kind of fun, and also Bunny Tigger just kind of hops around. So finally here you can see all the scores and also all of the coin earning potential. So nothing too exciting here. They're not going to be your best coin farmer or the best for score either, but you know, kind of fun for Easter. Okay, on to our next three. We have Ursula. Ursula will make a circle, but I would like to call it more like an oval. When her animation is activated, her trident comes out, and then a circle is made, or an oval, and then it gets cleared. So I got 27 there, pretty good for a very simple Tsum. Want to bring your attention to the middle, we have Boo. So this thing will kind of just goes, and you have to select a door. There are 3 possible doors. The first one I picked is a pink one, and it's Boo. All of Boo will clear the screen, and then from that point on, the only Tsums that will fall is the remaining 3. Now I am playing with the 5-4 on, so typically on a normal game that means that only 4 Tsums will fall from the screen, or from the top of the screen, but because Boo activates and no more Boo will fall off, then therefore there will be only 3. Next door, the green door, is we have Mike. This is my least favorite one. Mike just becomes small, and then you try to clear Mike, or maybe not clear Mike, but I really don't like that because it kind of throws me off my game as I'm playing. Doesn't really help. And then the third door is going to be the blue one, which is Sully, so I'll wait for that to happen here, but this is a tricky part. You gotta make sure you time it properly, and then you get Sully, and this is actually a useful one. A big Tsum shows up on the screen and you just clear all the Sully. So this is really useful when you have those missions where you need to clear a bunch of big Tsums. Sully or Boo, using Boo to get Sully is a potential good one to clear those missions. And then finally, Arlo on the right. His animation is whatever you do on one side will happen on the other side. So if let's say you swipe on the left side, the right side, exact same thing will happen. Same thing from top to bottom. See there, I did a diagonal slash from bottom left to top right. The same thing then happened on the opposite side. But don't do what I just did there, right there, which is just tap it and then nothing happens. So you definitely want to swipe and create a path, because if you just tap it, nothing will happen. So that's pretty much it for all 6 of these Tsums. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you would like to support this channel or see more Tsum Tsum content, don't forget to thumbs up this video and subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you so much for watching.